Hello student, today's topic of discussion is valuation of goodwill and shares. Okay, like, subscribe and share my channel. So let's see what is goodwill. Okay, you already know that what is goodwill. Goodwill is an intangible fixed asset having the realizable value. Okay, as per the company law, it is considered as a most permanent asset. It can be converted into cash at the time of sale of business. Okay, goodwill is something which enables a proprietor to earn more profit in future. It is magnetic power of attracting a flow of customer towards the organization. Okay, as per the Kohler, goodwill is current value of expected future income in excess of normal return on the investment in net tangible asset. Okay, this is the definition of goodwill. Now let's see basic features of the goodwill. Okay, you already know that goodwill is an intangible asset. It is not a tangible asset like plant and machinery, furniture, etc. It is intangible asset. Okay, second one is it helps the business to earn more profit than a normal profit. Okay, goodwill helps the firm or the company to earn the more profit. You know that branded product which has a goodwill, more goodwill than the non-branded product. Okay, you are ready to buy the product which has a brand or which has a good goodwill actually. Okay, next one is it has a value in case of profit making concern. Okay, it does not have any value for loss making concern. Okay, if a company is making losses for 3 to 4 years, then it is not possible to have goodwill for that company. Okay, goodwill is only for the profit making concern. Okay, next, it is created by the variety of factors. Okay, there are many factors which helps the firm or the company to create the goodwill for the company. It's depends on the various situation, that is managerial competence, a strong sales organization, next market domination, next if the firm or the company getting the government incentives. Okay, then liquidity position of the company. Okay, there are various other factors like the location of the proprietor. Okay, location of the business. Okay, then the reputation of the proprietors. Okay, there are if the firm or the company has monopoly in the market. Okay, all these factors are connected with the goodwill. Okay, next, it is either created internally or the purchase from the outside. Okay, there are two types of goodwill actually. First one is purchase goodwill, inherited goodwill. Okay, we will discuss it later. It has value only on going concern basis. Okay, this is the last features of the goodwill. Okay, there are other features also. I have mentioned a few of them. Next, types of goodwill. There are two types of goodwill. First one is purchase goodwill, and next is a inherent goodwill. Okay, in the last year also you have one topic, amalgamation, and in the current year also you have amalgamation of companies. Okay, in that you know that in the new company there is a second journal entry in which you calculated the goodwill. Okay, that is the purchase goodwill. When the company purchase another business, if that purchase price of that business is more than the net asset value, at that time there is a goodwill. Okay, the formula for calculation of goodwill is purchase consideration minus net asset taken over. Okay, and second type of goodwill is the inherent goodwill. Okay, this goodwill can said to be exist because there are many items of benefit to the business and value of it. It cannot include as an asset in the conventional account. as per AS 26, inherent goodwill should not be recognized as an asset. Okay, this is actually goodwill for the company, but we don't record this goodwill in the actually accounts. Okay, only the purchase goodwill are recorded in the account. Okay, that inherent goodwills actually depends on the location of the business, personal reputation of the individual which who are working in the working in that company. Okay, that may be directors or the owner of that organization. Okay, next, reputation of the goods. Okay, sometimes the reputation of goods is also another factor which help to build the goodwill, inherent goodwill. Okay, and if there is less competition in the area of the business, if the location of the business, at that time it is also one of the actually advantage for the company if there is a monopoly of that business. In this topic, valuation of goodwill, you are asked to calculate the goodwill by any one of this method, any one or two of this method. I have mentioned here 7 methods of valuation of goodwill, but out of this method number 4, 5 and 7 are most important for the practical problem purpose. The first method is number of year purchase of sales or the gross fees. Okay, this is the first method for the valuation of goodwill. In this first method, goodwill is calculated on the basis of the turnover or the sales or the gross fees and not on the net profit. The buyer pays for the goodwill maybe 1 or 2 per year purchases of the gross receipt or the sales. This method is simple and suitable for the valuation of goodwill of the professional like the chartered accountant, advocates, cost accountant, etc. The formula for calculation of goodwill is goodwill is equal to sales or the gross fees into number of year purchases. Okay, this is the first method. This is very simple method for calculation of goodwill. Okay, next method is number of year purchase of past net profit. Okay, this method is based on net profit. Okay, in this method, past fewer net profit is calculated, average profit is calculated. That average profit may be simple average or the weighted average. Okay, the formula for calculation of simple average is equal to total profit divided by number of year, and formula for calculation of weighted average profit is equal to total weighted profit divided by total weight. We will see this both these two methods of calculation of average profit in next slide. Okay, and formula for calculation of goodwill in this method, goodwill is equal to average adjusted net profit into number of years. Okay, this is the method for this is second method for calculation of goodwill. Okay, this is also very simple method. Okay, you just need to find out the average profit and multiply it by number of year purchases. Okay, number of year purchases means how many years that profit the company is going to earn. That estimated period is called as a number of year purchases. Okay, next method is number of year purchase of future maintainable profit. Okay, future maintainable profit. Okay, the term future maintainable profit means how much of the past profit will continue to earn in future. However, the future maintainable profit can be calculated to the certain extent on the basis of past profit of the few years. Okay, for the calculation of future maintainable profit, you just need to follow these steps. first you need to calculate the adjusted profit. Okay, past profit are subject to the adjustment item of the income or expenses which are extraordinary in nature, such as profit or loss on sale of assets, loss by fire, speculation gain, interest on non-trading investment, and other errors we need to rectify. If there are any errors, then we need to rectify it. Okay, in some situation capital profit or loss included in the profit, that means capital profit is considered as a revenue profit. At that time we need to rectify that. After calculation of adjusted profit, next step is calculation of past average profit. You just need to calculate the average profit. There are two methods for calculation of average profit. First method is simple average profit and second is weighted average profit. In simple average profit, you are provided with 2 or 3 or 4 years past profit. You just need to do adjustment first in that profit, and after that total that profit, just total it and divided by number of years. That means if you are provided with 3 years profit, just total that profit divided by 3. Okay, and second method for calculation of average profit is weighted average profit. Okay, for calculation of weighted average profit, you need to draw this chart. Okay, in this chart you just need to mention years first. Okay, next that trading profit, that profit you are provided with, that profit you need to mention here. Next, assign the weight for the years. That means latest year you need to mention, you need to assign more weights. Okay, likewise if you see here, for the year 2000 you assign weight 1, for 2001 weight 2. Okay, likewise you need to assign weight for the latest year, you need to assign maximum weight. Okay, likewise. Okay, after assigning the weight, you just need to multiply trading profit into weight. You will get weighted profit. Okay, and calculation of weighted average profit, you just need to use this formula: total weighted profit, that means this amount, okay, divided by total weights, that means this. Okay, the total of weights are 10 and you just need to calculate the weighted profit. Okay, total of this, you will find weighted profit. Okay, this is the formula for calculation of weighted average profit. Okay, if you are asked to prepare or calculate the profit as per the weighted average method, then you need to use this formula. Normally, if the past profit are in increasing or decreasing trend or in nature, okay, then calculation of average profit by weighted average method is used. Otherwise the simple average method is used. After calculation of simple average or weighted average profit, the final step for calculation of future maintainable, this is the final step for calculation of future maintainable profit. In this method, you just need to take average profit before tax, and in that average profit before tax you just need to make adjustment, these 4 adjustment. That is, you need to add expenses incurred in the past but not to be incurred in future. Okay, that means if you are paying rent in the past years, but now you have purchased that premises and you no need to pay the rent in the future, at that time the future profit will increase because you are not going to pay the rent on that premises. Okay, that you need to add, that means expenses incurred in the past but not likely to be incurred in future. Okay, after that you need to add another thing also, income likely to arise in future. Okay, any income which are not you are earning, which are not earning today but you are going to earn in future, that income you need to add in that average profit. After that you need to less or deduct from this expenses not incurred in the past but to be incurred in future. Okay, any expenses you are not incurring now but you will be you will have to pay in the future, and that expenses you need to deduct from this. And same, the income no longer receivable, that means you are earning income now but you are not going to earn income in the future. That income you need to deduct from average profit before tax. After that you will find future maintainable profit before tax, less the tax, deduct the tax from this, you will finally find the future maintainable profit after tax. Okay, this is the these are the three steps for calculation of future maintainable profit. Okay, first step calculation of adjusted profit, next calculation of average profit, and in last calculation of adjusted average profit. Okay, fine, calculation of FMP. Okay, this is the last step, calculation of FMP. Okay, we were discussing this method actually, number of year purchase of future maintainable profit. In that you just need to find out FMP, okay, by using these three steps. Okay, by after calculation of FMP you just need to multiply it by the number of year purchases. Okay, this is the value of goodwill. The formula for calculation of goodwill is equal to FMP into number of year purchases. FMP means future maintainable profit. Okay, next step, next method for calculation of goodwill is purchase of super profit method. This is very important method. Okay, in the many problem this method is asked. Okay, this method has 6 steps. First step, calculation of FMP. Just now we discuss about the how to calculate the FMP. Okay, for that you need to follow these 3 steps. Okay, next step is calculation of NRR. NRR means normal rate of return. Okay, normal rate of return. Okay, normal rate of return is the rate of return that the investor in general expect on their investment in the particular industry. Okay, the rate is differ from the industry to industry, or from the place to place, or from time to time. It is also depends upon the government decision. Okay, RBI rates, etc. Okay, for in the many problems, or you can say 99.99% problem, you will be provided with this NRR percentage in the problem itself. But if NRR is not provided in the problem, you can find out it by using this formula. NRR is equal to dividend per share in similar type of company divided by market value per share in similar type of company into 100. Okay, you can find NRR by using this formula. But maximum, in the maximum problem you are already provided with this NRR. Okay, next step is calculation of average capital employed, ACE, average capital employed. Okay, now let's see how to calculate average capital employed. Okay, there are 3 situations for calculation of average capital employed. When the opening and closing capital are available, at that time you have to use this formula for calculation of ACE, average capital employed, opening capital plus closing capital divided by 2. Second situation, when only opening capital is available, at that time ACE is equal to opening capital plus 1/2 of profit earned during the year. Means current year profit, half of the current year profit you should add in the opening capital to find out the ACE when the only opening capital is available. Okay, and third situation, when only closing capital is available. Okay, this is the very important actually situation. In most of the problem you will find this situation when only closing capital is available. The formula for calculation of ACE is average capital employed is equal to closing capital minus 1/2 of the current year profit during the year. Okay, note, tangible capital at the end of the year is considered equal to the average capital employed during the year if the profit earned during the year is withdrawn by the proprietor. If the profit earned during the year is withdrawn by the proprietor, then closing capital is equal to average capital employed. Okay, if you are provided with the information that the total profit for the current year is withdrawn by the proprietor, at that time you just find out the closing capital only. That closing capital is equal to average capital employed. You no need to deduct the profit earned during the year, one half of the profit earned during the year. Okay, when the profit earned during the year is withdrawn by the proprietor. Okay, now there are two approaches for calculation of average capital employed. Okay, first one is the asset side approach. Okay, in that you can find out the average capital employed directly, and second the liability side approach. Okay, these are the two approaches for calculation of average capital employed. Okay, as per the first approach, you are provided with the asset side information, and in the second approach you are provided with the liability side information only. In the most of the cases, more than 90% problem, you will find this approach in the problem, that is asset side approach. Okay, you are already you are given the balance sheet of the company. At that time you should use asset side approach for calculation of average capital employed. Okay, for that you need to use this formula. You need to prepare the table like this: all tangible trading asset at revised value, otherwise at book value. Means if revised value is not provided in the problem, at that time you can use book value of that asset. Recorded as well as unrecorded asset. That means if some assets are not recorded in the balance sheet but you are given the information in the adjustment, at that time you can consider unrecorded assets also. Okay, excluding goodwill, non-trading asset, fictitious assets. Okay, that means don't consider the intangible assets, non-trading asset, that means investment, non-trading investment. Mostly non-trading asset means investment. And fictitious assets. Fictitious assets means preliminary expenses, discount on issue of shares or debentures. These are the fictitious assets. Don't consider these assets while mentioning the assets. The statement is already considered, already mentioned that all the tangible trading asset, that means non-trading, non-tangible assets, intangible assets, we no need to consider here. Another trading asset, that means non-trading asset, we need not consider here. Okay, minus, less, third party liability payable, that means outsider liability. Here also recorded or unrecorded, both the liability we need to consider. Recorded means which are provided in the balance sheet itself, and unrecorded means which are provided in the notes or the adjustment. Okay, after deducting third party liabilities from the all tangible trading assets, you will find tangible capital employed at the year end. Okay, this is the closing capital employed. Okay, this is closing capital. You just need to deduct half of the profit earned during the year to find out the average capital employed. Okay, this is the asset side approach. And next approach is liability side approach. In this liability side approach, you just need to mention the share capital, add reserve and surplus, less fictitious asset, non-trading assets, revaluation loss. You will find closing capital employed, closing capital, tangible trading capital employed. Then this is the closing capital. Just deduct half of the profit earned during the year to find out the average capital employed. This is the liability side approach. Okay, in the most of the cases you will find asset side approach in the problem. Okay, okay, these are the three. If in the problem you are provided with opening capital and closing capital, you need to use this formula. Only opening capital is available, this formula is used. If only closing capital is available, this formula is used. If you see, this formula is already used in these two situations. Look here, closing capital is calculated. Just you are deducting half of the profit earned during the year, less half of the profit earned during the year. Okay, you can find out average capital employed. Okay, here also trading capital employed less half of the profit earned during the year, you will find average capital employed. Okay, this is the third step for calculation of goodwill. First one is calculation of FMP, future maintainable profit. Second step, calculation of NRR, normal rate of return. Third step, calculation of average capital employed. Okay, next step is calculation of normal profit. Okay, for that you have to use this formula. Normal profit is equal to average capital employed, that means answer of third step, into NRR in percentage. Okay, that means second step answer. Okay, in percentage, or you can mention average capital employed into NRR divided by 100. Okay, next step for calculation of super profit. Calculation of super profit. Okay, formula for calculation of super profit is FMP, that is first step answer, minus normal profit, fourth step answer. Okay, and last step, calculation of goodwill. Goodwill is equal to super profit, that is fifth step answer, into number of year purchases. This information is already provided in the problem, that is number of year purchases. Okay, this is the final step for calculation of goodwill, super profit into number of year purchases. Okay, this is the fourth step, most important. This is the fourth method for calculation of goodwill, and this is the most important method. Now next step, capitalization of super profit. Capitalization of super profit method. In this method there are 6 steps only, and if you see, first 5 steps are same as earlier method, that is calculation of FMP, NRR, average capital employed, normal profit, super profit. All these 5 steps are same as earlier method, just final step is difference. There is a different formula for calculation of goodwill in the capitalization of super profit method. The formula is goodwill is equal to super profit divided by NRR into 100. Okay, this is method number 5, and this is also very important method for calculation of goodwill. In the most of the problem you are asked to calculate the goodwill by these methods also. Okay, next method for calculation of goodwill is annuity method of super profit. Okay, in this method also first 5 steps are same. Okay, in the fourth step, in the fourth method, okay, first 5 steps are same: FMP, NRR, average capital employed, normal profit, and super profit. In the fifth step also, in the fifth method also same steps are there. In the sixth steps also, in the sixth method also same steps are there: FMP, NRR, average capital employed, normal profit, super profit. Only last steps is different. In the annuity, for calculation of annuity method of super profit, goodwill as per annuity method of super profit, goodwill is equal to super profit, that is fifth step answer, into reference to annuity table. Okay, you just need to use annuity table, and you can find out the reference to annuity table by using that table. Just multiply it, that factor, annuity table factor, by super profit, you will find goodwill. Next method for calculation of goodwill is capitalization of future maintainable profit method. In this method you need to first find out FMP, future maintainable profit, then NRR, normal rate of return. After that you need to find out capitalized value of FMP. For that you need to use this formula: FMP divided by NRR into 100. Okay, you will find capitalized value of FMP. After that you need to calculate net tangible trading asset. Okay, net tangible trading asset means while calculating the average capital employed, you will find that net tangible trading asset here. Okay, this is the value of net tangible trading asset. Okay, you just need to use same formula as you were using for a calculation of average capital employed. Okay, all tangible trading asset at revised value minus all third party liabilities, okay, is equal to net tangible trading asset. Okay, and finally you can use this formula for calculation of goodwill: capitalized value of FMP, that means third step answer, minus net tangible trading asset, that means fourth step answer. Okay, you will find goodwill by using this formula. Okay, these are the 7 methods for calculation of goodwill. There are other methods also, but I have mentioned here 7 methods only, which are related to your syllabus. And out of these 7 methods, and these 3 methods are most important for your practical problem purpose. Method number 4, purchase of super profit method. Method number 5, capitalization of super profit method. And method number 7, capitalization of future maintainable profit method. Okay, like, subscribe and share my channel. Now we will see how to solve the problem. Okay, how to solve the practical problem. Okay, this is the problem. Okay. Okay, let's see. Following is the balance sheet of Mr. Salman as on 31st March 2020. This is the year end, and the balance sheet of the Mr. Salman. Following were the net profit for the year ended 31st March 2018, rupees 32,280, 2019 36,870, and 2020 43,350. These are the last 3 years profit. These amount include income from investment of rupees 1,800 each year. Okay, that means this profit include non-trading investment. Okay, interest on investment is non-trading investment, it is not a trading profit. So for calculation of for a calculation of goodwill, we need to exclude that non-trading investment. You are required to value the goodwill of the above business at 2-year purchases of the average super profit for 3 years, taking the standard rate of return on capital employed in such type of business as 10%. Okay, this is the NRR. 10% is the NRR, and assuming that the year's profit is immediately withdrawn in full by Mr. Salman. Okay, so Salman has withdrawn their current year profit. You already know that actually for calculation of average capital employed, if the current year profit is withdrawn by the proprietor, at that time closing capital employed is equal to average capital employed. Okay, so we no need to deduct 1/2 of the current year profit from the closing capital employed for calculation of average capital employed. Okay, so first we need to calculate FMP. Okay, we are asked to calculate the goodwill on the basis of super profit method. Okay, number of year purchases of super profit method. Okay, there are 6 steps. You already know that there are 6 steps. First step is calculation of FMP. Okay, for calculation of FMP, we need to mention or calculate the 3 years adjusted profit. Okay, adjusted profit. For calculation of adjusted profit, we are given one information that 3 years profit we are provided with the 3 years profit, but that 3 years profit included with non-current income, not non-current investment income, that is 1,800 rupees. So we need to deduct that non-trading investment income, that is 1,800 from each year. So this is the adjusted profit or adjusted trading profit. Okay, now use the simple average formula. Calculate the simple average. Total profit divided by number of years. Okay, total profit divided by number of years. The total profit is 1,07,100. Okay, total of these 3 years profit divided by 3. So average profit is 35,700. Okay, in the current problem, they have not given any information about the expenses or income which are going to increase or decrease in future. So this average profit is FMP. Okay, future maintainable profit, because there is no such expenses which are incurring now, but that expenses will not incur in future, or any income we are earning today but we are not going to earn in future, or any income which are not we are getting now but we will earn in future. Okay, we are not provided such types of information which are required for calculation of FMP. Okay, like this. Okay, this information is not provided in the problem. That's why we no need to mention this information in the actually solution also, because they have not provided such types of information in the problem. So there is no such information. So this is the final answer of calculation of FMP. This is FMP 35,700. Okay. Now next, second step is calculation of NRR. The NRR is already provided in the problem. It is 10%. So we directly mention it. We can directly mention it 10% given in the problem. You can mention it in bracket. Okay. Next, third step is calculation of average capital employed. Okay. For calculation of average capital employed, you just need to deduct trading tangible asset. You just need to deduct liabilities due to outsider from the trading tangible trading asset. Okay. Tangible trading asset. Okay. So these are the tangible trading asset, and we need to mention it at a market price, but in the current problem there is no any market price. We are not provided with any market price. So book value is equal to market value. Okay. It is, we consider at book value is a revised value. Okay. So mention all the assets. Okay. Land and building, plant and machinery, bank, debtors. Okay. 19,200. Total is 2,42,040. Okay, but excluding goodwill. Okay. Goodwill, no. Okay, excluding investment, because it is non-trading. Okay, non-trading investment, excluding investment of rupees 30,000. So the total is 2,12,040 less liabilities due to outsider. Okay, liabilities due to outsider means only creditors. Capital and reserve and surplus is internal liability. So other than internal liability, only one external liability is there, that is creditors. It is 38,040. So mention it 38,040. The total of liability is 38,040. Deduct it from 2,12,040. We will find tangible trading asset. Okay, it is tangible trading asset, and in the current problem, entire profit is withdrawn by the proprietor. So average capital employed is equal to tangible trading asset. Okay, average capital employed is equal to tangible trading asset. Therefore, average capital employed is equal to 1,74,000 is the average capital employed. This is the answer of third step. Okay. First step answer is 35,700, second step 10%, and third step 1,74,000. Now next step, calculation of normal profit. Okay, calculation of normal profit. The formula for calculation of normal profit is average capital employed, that is we have calculated in third step, into NRR percentage. NRR in percentage, we have mentioned it in the second step, that is 10%. So normal profit is 17,400. 1,74,000 into 10%. It is 17,400. Okay. Next step is calculation of super profit. Okay. Calculation of super profit. The formula is future maintainable profit minus normal profit. Means answer of first step minus answer of fourth step. Okay. Answer of first step is 35,700 minus normal profit 17,400. Okay. So answer is answer of super profit is equal to 18,300. Okay. Just keep in mind that if the super profit is in minus or nil, at that time goodwill is also nil. Okay. If super profit is 0 or in minus figure, then you need to consider goodwill nil. Okay, don't count goodwill by multiplying that minus amount, and goodwill, we can't mention the goodwill as a minus amount. Okay, goodwill is always positive. Okay, or nil. Okay, so if the super profit is 0 or less than 0, at that time goodwill is 0. Okay, and the last step for the calculation of goodwill is super profit into number of year purchases. The formula for calculation of goodwill is super profit into number of year purchases. So in the fifth step we have calculated super profit 18,300 rupees and into number of year purchases. In the problem we have given that information. Okay, you are required to calculate goodwill of the above business at 2 year purchases. Okay, so number of year purchases is 2 year purchases. Okay, therefore we have mentioned it 2 years. Okay, so value of goodwill is 36,600. Okay, this is the final answer as per the super profit method. The goodwill value is 36,600. Okay, now we will see the how to calculate the goodwill by second method, capitalization of super profit method. Okay, it is in this method we have to find out the goodwill by following these six steps. But if you see that in the super profit method also there are 6 steps. First 5 steps are same in both the method. So I am just mentioning that answers of that first 5 step. FMP is 35,700, NRR 10%, capital employed 1,74,000, normal profit, okay, 17,400. Okay, that is calculated by using this formula, average capital employed into NRR. Okay, 17,400. Next, calculate the super profit. FMP minus normal profit is equal to super profit. Okay, FMP is 35,700 minus normal profit 17,400 is equal to super profit 18,300. Okay, now for calculation of goodwill, the formula under capitalization of super profit method is super profit divided by NRR into 100. Okay, so super profit is 18,300 divided by NRR 10% into 100. Okay, so the final answer as per the goodwill as per the second method, that is capitalization of super profit method, is 1,83,000. Okay, as per the purchases of super profit method the goodwill is 36,600. Okay, but as per the capitalization of super profit method the goodwill is 1,83,000. Okay, this is also the same method, just last methods actually formula is different. Goodwill valuation formula is different in this both the in these two methods. Okay, as per the purchases of super profit method the formula for calculation of goodwill is super profit into number of year purchases, and as per the capitalization of super profit method goodwill is equal to super profit divided by NRR into 100. Okay, now let's see the next method. As per the next method, how to calculate the goodwill, capitalization of future maintainable profit method. Okay, this is the last method. Okay, as per okay, this method. Okay, last 7th method. Okay, as per this method how to calculate it, there are only 5 steps. First step is calculation of FMP, same as above. Okay, same as per the other that 2 methods, 35,700. Calculation of NRR 10%. Next we need to calculate the capitalized value of FMP. The formula for it, FMP divided by NRR into 100. FMP is 35,700 divided by 10%. So answer is 3,57,000. Okay, so capitalized value of FMP is 3,57,000. Okay, next is calculation of net tangible trading asset. Okay, net tangible trading asset, it's same as closing capital employed. Okay, 1,74,000. In the current problem, closing capital employed is equal to average capital employed. Okay, so net tangible trading asset is also 1,74,000. Okay, 1,74,000. Next final step is calculation of goodwill. The formula for calculation of goodwill as per capitalization of future maintainable profit is capitalized value of FMP. Okay, third step answer, minus net tangible trading asset, that means fourth step answer. Okay, so 3,57,000 minus 1,74,000. Okay, this is the value of goodwill. If you see that in the both methods, that is capitalization of super profit method and in the capitalization of FMP method, in the both methods the value of goodwill is same. Okay, if you see other problems also, you will find that the value of goodwill in these both methods, that means capitalization of super profit method and capitalization of FMP method, you will find the same answer. Okay, 1,83,000 and 1,83,000. Okay, thank you. We will in the next lecture we will see how to find out the value of shares. Okay, just try to solve the maximum problem related to valuation of goodwill. Okay, thank you very much. Like, subscribe and share my channel.